What's up, my dudes and dudettes? It's your boy Kyle. Welcome to the party. Today, I got a little bit of rider knowledge, a question that was asked. Why would two bikes of the exact make and model go different speeds? There's 4 measurable factors that are gonna make the biggest difference. All right, number 1 is power to weight. Meaning, if rider 1 weighs 100 pounds on the same bike as rider 2, who weighs 150 pounds, rider 1 will go faster. He'll be able to accelerate faster, but it will ultimately depend on another measurable factor, which is gearing. Okay, so if rider 1 is geared more for acceleration, a different tooth sprocket, and sprocket 1, sprocket low end, and rider 2 is riding sprocket high end, rider 2 is going to have a higher top speed, and the same bike will go faster. Horsepower doesn't really determine top speed per se, okay? Because the horsepower enables you to utilize the gearing, okay? Now, you could have 1,000 horsepower and be geared low, and a guy could have 50 horsepower and geared high, and he would ultimately go faster on the same bike, right? You know where I'm going with this. So we're not going to count horsepower. That's kind of irrelevant. The third factor is going to be aerodynamics. Okay, wind resistance. So if rider 1 is sporting a windshield, I-4E, and rider 2 is not, rider 2 is going to go faster on the same bike, or at least appear to go faster. Again, even with a windshield, you can get up to a top speed. It's just going to take longer, all right? Unless you're measuring both bikes in the same constant wind speed, in which case the one with the least air resistance is ultimately going to go a little bit faster, okay? The fourth factor is contact friction with the roadway. Your tires, what are they doing? Okay, if rider 1 is on knobby off-road tires and rider 2 is on racing slicks, you guessed it, rider 2, his rubber isn't going to be fighting the roadway as much. So he's going to go faster. Now these are the 4 measurable or easily measurable things that you can take into account. All right. So if somebody tells you, well, I have the same bike, but it only goes this fast. Well, you can bet that it's because one of these 4 factors. The 5th observable, yet not really measurable factor, the 5th element here on high CC bikes is going to be balls. A Hayabusa, we all know how fast the Busa can go. How fast is someone willing to go is going to determine why 2 riders on the same bike are going different speeds. Now this is all, of course, mainly pertaining to highway riding in a straight line. Because when we talk about the variables determining whether the same bike is faster at turning, well, that's a whole nother video. In fact, I would recommend you check out David Moss Tuning. Probably the best, shortest, to the point videos on how to tune your motorcycle, why the suspension factors come into play, raising and lowering, and he'll talk about tire pressure, which again is friction, okay? So this all applies to straight line stuff. You can basically work through all this in your noodle and come to a conclusion as to why two guys or girls with the same bike go different speeds. Thanks for watching. Peace.